You know how ginger in the grocery store always looks so lively and promising, and then somehow, after a week in your fridge, it dries out, wrinkles, and turns into something you could probably use as a stone in self-defense? Yeah, we've all been there. Now imagine this for a second. That same piece of ginger, the one you bought for tea or cooking, could actually turn into a living, growing plant right in your home. A plant that keeps expanding, sending up fresh green shoots, and giving you a supply of ginger for months without you spending extra at the store. That's exactly what we're doing today. In this video, I'm walking you through the realistic, honest, no-nonsense way to grow ginger from day 0 up to the end of month 2. And I'm not talking about theory, I'm talking about the method that actually works, even if you've never grown anything before. By the way, watch till the end, because there's a little trick I use that wakes ginger up faster than anything I've ever tried. Most gardeners skip it completely. Before we get deeper into the ginger journey, take a second to like this video and subscribe. It helps our little gardening community grow, and it lets me keep making videos like this. And if you know someone who loves plants as much as you do, share it with them. They'll thank you for it. All right, let's get into it. Before we get our hands in the soil, I want you to really understand what you're working with. Because if you get this part, truly get it, growing ginger stops feeling like gardening and starts feeling like you're watching nature write a story right in front of you. We call it ginger root, but honestly, that name has confused more beginners than anything else. It makes people treat ginger like a carrot or a yam, something that grows straight down in one neat direction. But ginger doesn't follow that script at all. What you're holding is a rhizome. Picture it like an underground stem that doesn't want to grow upward like a regular plant and doesn't want to dive downward like a root. Instead, it moves horizontally, creeping and expanding across the soil like it's navigating a little underground world of its own. A rhizome is a builder. It doesn't just grow, it spreads. Every fresh segment it creates becomes a new chapter of the plant's life. Now flip that ginger over and take a good look. See those little raised dots? Some small, some bigger, some already showing a hint of green? Those are the eyes, and each one is a future shoot just waiting for the right moment to appear. When an eye wakes up, it does two things almost at the same time. It pushes a shoot upward toward the sunlight, and it sends roots downward for support. The rhizome itself stays in the middle, slowly extending like a network. That's why planting ginger isn't about burying it deep and forgetting about it. It's about giving it space, horizontal space, so it can stretch out. And this is where most beginners go wrong. They put ginger in a tall, narrow pot, thinking it behaves like vegetables that shoot straight down. Then they wonder why growth is slow or why the plant seems stuck. Ginger doesn't want depth, it wants territory. Think of it like this. If roots are the basement of a house, a rhizome is the hallway. It's going to build more and more rooms off that hallway as it grows. And the more rooms it builds, the bigger your eventual harvest. Once you see ginger as a living stem rather than a buried root, everything about growing it becomes clearer. You understand why wide containers always beat deep ones. You understand why laying the rhizome flat is better than planting it upright. And you understand why every small bump, every eye, every tiny swelling on the surface actually matters. So when we move on to potting and spacing, this is the idea that guides all of it. Ginger grows like a traveler. Give it room to move, and it will reward you with incredible growth. Let's talk about the part everyone thinks is simple until they get home and realize nothing is sprouting. Shopping. And the funny thing is, growing ginger doesn't require seeds or special starter kits. You don't need nursery trays, heat lamps, or anything that sounds like a science project. All you need, and I mean literally all you need, is fresh ginger from the grocery store. But here's the catch. Not every ginger you see at the store is ready to grow. In fact, some of them look perfect on the outside, but inside they're basically in a long-term nap. A lot of store-bought ginger gets treated to slow down sprouting so it sits on the shelf longer. It looks clean, it looks shiny, it looks well-behaved, but put it in soil and nothing. It's like planting a decorative rock. So let me show you how to shop like someone who actually knows what they're doing. First, pick up the ginger and feel it. It should feel firm, not soft or squishy. If it feels spongy, that means it's old, dehydrated, or has already lost most of its stored energy. You want ginger that feels alive, like it's holding something inside it, waiting to grow. Next, look at the skin. Good ginger has a smooth, tight skin. If it's shriveled, wrinkled, or looks like it's been thinking too hard, leave it. Now the most important part, the eyes. Turn the ginger around in your hands and look for those little bumps. They can be tiny, they can be subtle, but if you see even a hint of swelling or a tiny bit of green, that is a huge sign. That's the ginger telling you, I'm ready to sprout the second you give me soil and moisture. Organic ginger usually sprouts more reliably because it's less likely to be treated with sprout inhibitors. But don't stress if all you can find is regular ginger. You can absolutely grow that too. It just might need a bit more patience while it wakes up. And here's a little gardener's secret. The ginger with the most eyes is the ginger with the most potential. A piece with 4 or 5 eyes can grow 4 or 5 shoots. That means more leaves, more photosynthesis, and a thicker, stronger rhizome network underneath the soil. In other words, one good piece can multiply itself over and over. And let's talk size for a second, because this really matters. Yes, small pieces will grow. Yes, you'll still get shoots. But a chunky, plump piece? That's like planting a ginger that already had a good breakfast. It has more stored energy, so it sprouts stronger and faster, especially in the first 8 weeks, which is the time period we're focusing on in this video. So when you're standing in the produce aisle, take your time. Turn the ginger over in your hand. Check the firmness. Look at the eyes. Pick the one that feels like it has a little ambition. Because the truth is, choosing the right piece from the start makes everything else easier. And when you pick a good one, the plant practically grows itself. Now let's talk about something that almost no one thinks about when they first try growing ginger. And I'm telling you right now, choosing the wrong container is one of the biggest reasons people fail before their ginger even gets a chance to sprout. Here's the thing most beginners don't realize. Ginger grows sideways, not down. It wants room to stretch out like someone settling into a couch at the end of a long day. So if you stick it into a tall, skinny pot, you're basically forcing it into a tight pair of jeans 2 sizes too small. It can't move, it can't breathe, and it definitely can't grow the way it's designed to. That's why tall pots are one of the worst options for ginger. Your rhizome will just sit there, cramped and miserable, trying to figure out why it's trapped in a chimney. What ginger actually wants is horizontal space, a wide, open layout where it can explore and spread out section by section. So when you're choosing a container, think wide rather than deep. Something around 12 to 14 inches across gives ginger enough room to travel, and about 8 to 10 inches of depth is all it needs for roots and soil support. Now let me save you some stress. Don't overthink the material. Plastic is fine, ceramic is fine, fabric grow bags work beautifully, wooden boxes, also great. Ginger isn't picky about what the container is made of. It's picky about whether it can move. But there's one non-negotiable: drainage. If your container can't drain water, ginger won't survive. It's as simple as that. Ginger loves moisture, but it absolutely hates sitting in soggy soil. When water collects at the bottom of the pot, the rhizome behaves just like a potato left in a bowl of water for too long. It gets mushy, slimy, and eventually starts to rot from the inside out. By the time you notice something is wrong, it's usually too late. So before you put a single scoop of soil in that container, turn it over and check the bottom. If there's no hole, you need one. If there's one hole, add more. Your ginger should never feel like it's living in a bathtub. And believe me, you'll thank yourself later. Good drainage is the difference between ginger that sprouts confidently and ginger that gives up before it even starts. Think of your container like choosing the right home for your plant. You want space, you want airflow, you want comfort, and you want an escape route for extra water. Set that up correctly, and ginger becomes one of the easiest, most rewarding plants you'll ever grow. All right, let's move on to one of the most important parts of growing ginger successfully: the soil. Ginger has very clear preferences. It wants soil that's moist enough to keep it hydrated,
but airy enough to let it breathe, and loose enough for the rhizome to spread without feeling like it's trying to push through cement. Think of the perfect ginger soil like a good mattress. Soft, supportive, breathable, something you can sink into without getting stuck. If you grab a handful of your soil mix and squeeze it, it should feel fluffy. It should hold together just a little, then crumble easily when you poke it. If it forms a tight, stubborn ball, that soil is way too dense, and your ginger will have a miserable time trying to expand. A simple mix that works beautifully is this: a good quality potting mix as your base, something light, something made for container gardening, not heavy garden dirt. A generous scoop of compost for nutrients. Ginger loves organic matter. It's like giving the plant a steady breakfast every day. A bit of perlite or coarse sand to help with drainage. You don't want water clinging to the soil like it's afraid to leave. You want it to move freely. What you're creating is a balance. Soil that holds moisture but doesn't suffocate the rhizome. Because ginger is needy in the cutest way. It wants constant moisture but also space. It wants you close but not too close. If your mix is too heavy, the rhizome struggles and growth slows down. If it's too sandy and loose, water drains too quickly and the plant dries out. But when you get the mixture right, your ginger responds almost immediately with faster sprouting and stronger shoots. Now, if you want to give your plant a little head start, you can mix in a gentle, slow-release fertilizer. Nothing intense. Ginger doesn't like being blasted with nutrients. A mild organic fertilizer gives it a quiet boost in the background during those early weeks. Think of it like giving your ginger a soft push instead of a shove. Once you've got your soil right, you've already solved half the battle. A good soil mix lets the rhizome grow, stretch, and breathe exactly the way it's meant to. And when the environment beneath the soil is happy, ginger grows like it's got something to... All right, now for the part everyone looks forward to, actually planting the ginger. This is where the whole process starts to feel real. And trust me, if you set things up the right way from the beginning, the plant will reward you later. Start by filling your container with that fluffy, airy soil mix you prepared. Don't pack it in too tightly. Ginger likes a soft landing, not a compressed block it has to fight through. Leave a little space at the top, about an inch or two, so watering doesn't splash soil everywhere. Once your container is ready, take your ginger and lay it horizontally on the soil surface. This part is important. Ginger isn't planted like a bulb or a seed. It should lie flat, almost like it's lounging. And remember those eyes we talked about earlier? Make sure they're facing upward. Those eyes are your future shoots, so they need to be pointed toward the light, not buried in confusion somewhere below the soil. Now, when it comes to covering your ginger, less is more. Do not bury it deep. A thin layer of soil, half an inch, maybe 3/4 at most, is all it needs. The rhizome should feel close to the surface, almost as if it's wearing a light blanket instead of being tucked under a heavy mattress. If you're planting multiple pieces in the same container, give them space. About 4 to 6 inches between each piece lets them spread without bumping into each other. Ginger doesn't grow straight, it wanders, so spacing really matters. Once everything is laid out and lightly covered, give the soil a gentle press. Nothing dramatic. We're not trying to compact it. We're just helping the rhizome make good contact with the soil so it can start absorbing moisture. Then water lightly. Again, lightly. This first watering isn't about quenching thirst. Your ginger doesn't have roots yet. You're simply giving it a signal. Time to wake up. Something is happening. As you water, aim for that perfect balance. The soil should feel like a wrung-out sponge. Moist, but not sloppy. You don't want puddles, and you definitely don't want mud. Once that's done, step back for a second and admire your work. Because honestly, this is the hardest part, the setup. From here on out, it's mostly about patience and giving your plant the right conditions to grow. And trust me, if you've planted it correctly, ginger responds. Now this is where patience comes in. Ginger is a tropical plant. It wants warmth, but not harsh sun. So for these early weeks, keep it indoors if your nights drop below 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Aim for temperatures between 70 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Give it bright light, but not direct, harsh sunlight. If you've ever grown herbs in a window, similar rules apply, just a bit warmer. And yes, if you have a heating mat lying around, ginger loves that. Warm feet make happy ginger. Okay, let's talk about expectations. During the first 2 weeks, you'll stare at that soil like it owed you money. You'll water it gently, you'll check on it, you'll wonder if anything is even happening. But underground, the rhizome is waking up. Roots are forming, energy is shifting. Just don't overwater it. That's the fastest way to turn a healthy rhizome into mush. Touch the soil every few days. If the top edge feels dry, water. If not, leave it alone. Keep it warm, keep it comfortable, and trust the process. And this is the exciting part. Around week 3 or 4, you'll see a pointy little spear push through the soil, sometimes reddish, sometimes green. And once it starts growing, it grows fast. We're talking an inch or more per day in warm conditions. Now you can increase watering slightly, still the same rule though, moist, not soggy. By the end of week 4, your ginger shoots should be 6 to 12 inches tall. Rotate the container every few days so your plant doesn't lean toward the light. Week 5 to 8, this is when your ginger starts acting like it owns the place. The shoots multiply, the leaves widen, the plant thickens, and underground, the rhizome is expanding. This is also the time to start feeding it. A mild organic liquid fertilizer. Every 2 weeks, half strength is enough. If your weather is warm and frost-free, you can start moving the plant outdoors, but do it gradually. No sudden full sun exposure. Ginger sunburn is real. By the end of month 2, you should have a lush, lively ginger plant that's fully established and ready for the explosive growth that happens in month. Now let's fix issues before they happen. No sprouts after 4 weeks? Check the temperature. Ginger sleeps below 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Leaves turning brown? Not enough moisture or humidity. Yellowing? It wants nutrients. Feed lightly. Floppy stems? It needs more light. Is the soil always wet? You need better drainage. Most ginger problems come down to temperature, light, and water. Fix those and your plant behaves. All right, here's the trick I promised. Before planting, place your ginger pieces in a shallow bowl with just a bit of water at the bottom, not submerged, just touching the base. Put it in a warm spot and check every few days. Within 1 to 2 weeks, you'll see roots forming and the eyes swelling. This wakes your ginger up early, so when you finally plant it, it hits the soil running. You'll see shoots almost twice as fast. I've never planted ginger without doing this trick since the first time I tried it. And that's your full guide from day 0 to the end of month 2. If you follow everything we covered, the right ginger, the right container, the right soil, the right watering routine, your ginger will reward you with beautiful growth and a harvest that tastes better than anything from the store. If you want me to walk you through months 3 and 4, or if you're curious about how to harvest for maximum yield, just tell me in the comments. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and share it with another plant lover. It helps our little gardening community grow, and it lets me keep making more guides like this for you. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you in the next video.